If you are pregnant or you've recently had a baby, this podcast is for you. I am your host, Kath Bequee, a physiotherapist working in women's health and mum of 3. Join me each week as we dive into all things pregnancy care, childbirth and postnatal recovery, helping you have a wonderful pregnancy and afterbirth experience. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Well, hello there. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Fitness Mama podcast. Today, we are discussing one simple 60-second strategy which you may find helpful for birth. If you're pregnant or you're planning on another pregnancy, this episode is for you. So thank you so much to everyone who has taken the time out to do a quick rating and review. I do really appreciate it, as I know everyone is super busy. It is so great to hear your feedback, and by leaving a rating and review, it also helps the podcast get found by more pregnant and new mums just like you who might find some of the episodes helpful. So thank you. And if you have enjoyed this podcast, I invite you to leave a rating and review too. Just head to your Apple Podcast app, click on the Fitness Mama podcast and scroll all the way down to the bottom. And secondly, inside Fitness Mama, in January 2022, there is a members-only live 2-day online event where we will be diving into all things preparing the body for birth and beyond. So if you're wanting to access some quality pregnancy workouts over this January period, and if you would like to join in with this live event, then come and join us. So after this 2-day live event, you'll feel more confident and empowered. We are diving into perineal preparation, perineal massage, how to prepare your pelvic floor for birth and beyond, and preparing your body for birth and beyond too. So we're diving into active birth strategies, preparing for our recovery. There's going to be so much goodness in this live online event. So to come and join us, head to fitnessmama.com and follow the links to the program. All right, let's dive into this episode. So this is a short, quick episode, and I am sharing one strategy that I do hear a lot of feedback on. So a lot of women do find this super helpful. So whether or not it's my one-on-one clients, or it's my lovely mums inside Fitness Mama, or it's the women who have attended previous free pregnancy workshops. So this one simple strategy you might find helpful for birth, or if it's not helpful for birth, perhaps you'll find it helpful when your baby is unsettled and they're crying. Or perhaps your toddler, your baby's a bit older, they're a toddler, and they're having a tantrum. You might find this strategy really helpful. So it's a life skill. And that's the thing, isn't it? When we're preparing for birth, we don't know how birth is going to eventuate. So I like to think about birth preparation as adding tools to your toolkit, because you might find one tool really helpful and amazing, whereas you might find the other tools on the day not so useful. But if you've got them in your toolkit, then they're there, they're waiting for you. So if and when you need them, they may be super empowering. So this tool, we're going to dive into a 60-second strategy, which again, you might not find actually helpful on the day, and that's fine. But I do also think this is an amazing lifelong skill. Firstly, we want to mimic a contraction, but we obviously can't mimic a contraction. But what we can do is we can get ourselves into some discomfort, a moment of discomfort, and then we can practice a relaxation strategy during this moment of discomfort. So what am I talking about? What's this moment of discomfort? What I'm talking about is a 60-second squat. So you might head over to a wall. And I love a wall squat, a good old wall squat. So quick disclaimer, obviously this is general information only. If you do have aches and pains or a wall squat isn't right for you for whatever reason, please do consult your healthcare provider. All the information in this podcast is general information. It's up to you to work out if they apply to you and your circumstance. So if a 60-second wall squat is appropriate for you, get up against a wall, get yourself into a lovely 60-second squat, And then you will notice that your legs start to burn. So I like to try doing this the first time you do it. Focus on the discomfort. Focus on that burning feeling that you're feeling in your quads, in those muscles. Like obviously you don't want that sharp pain in your pelvis or your back or anything like that. But if it's muscular discomfort because your muscles are working, because you're in a squat, let's focus on that discomfort. And you'll notice as we're focusing on the discomfort, you might notice it gets worse. And that feeling of pain or discomfort, it becomes a bit yucky, right? And you're thinking, oh, when is this 60-second squat going to finish? So set the timer, do what you need to. Let's pretend the 60-second squat has finished. So stand up, have a little shake out, get yourself a sip of water, do what you need to do. So during that squat, just have a think, what did it feel like? What were your thoughts? What was happening in your thoughts? What were your muscles feeling like? And you might even rate that squat on a scale of 0 to 10. Is 0, there was no discomfort at all. 10, it was unbearable discomfort, like it was really uncomfortable. Where did you sit on that scale of 0 to 10? Okay, let's try that squat one more time. But this time, we're going to trial one strategy for today. And incidentally, this is what I dive into a lot inside Fitness Mama and during our workouts too. Every single week, we'll trial a different strategy because I do really believe it's this practice that really makes the difference. I had heard that breathing could be a really great relaxation strategy, but I thought, how hard can breathing be? Like seriously, we can all breathe, right? And I perhaps didn't give it the attention it deserves because once you're in a moment of discomfort, that's when sometimes things fly out the window. And if we've practiced them and we've sort of ingrained them into our psyche, I guess, but if we have practiced them and practice them regularly, then it's easier to call upon them if or when we need. So that's why we're going to practice with this second squat. Coming back to the squat, let's practice what I call the spaghetti breathing. So get yourself into your squat. And now let's focus on a piece of spaghetti coming in through one nostril as you breathe in, and then coming out the other nostril as you breathe out. So let's do that again. Breathe that spaghetti in through one nostril. Feel your rib cage expand. And then breathe that piece of spaghetti out through the other nostril. This time, focus on how long that piece of spaghetti is. Can you get it any longer for this next breath? Let's try. And breathing out. So every time you breathe in through one nostril and then out through the other nostril, you could think about a different sensation. Let's use all our senses. How hot or how cold is that piece of spaghetti? How long is it? And then as you're breathing in through your nose and out through your other nostril, if you feel that burning sensation creeping up and if you feel your focus going to your legs, try to take that focus back to your breathing and breathe in one more piece of spaghetti if you can. And then finish the squat. So we're aiming for about 60 seconds, but obviously if you haven't done any squats for your whole pregnancy, start small, start what works for you within your own limits, because obviously you never want to push into discomfort. A bit of a muscular discomfort's okay, but you would never want that to be a pelvic girdle pain or a low back pain or that sharp discomfort. So take it at the level that suits you. So once you've practiced that, I encourage you to set yourself a little challenge for the next 7 days. Try to do one squat, one 60-second squat every day for the next 7 days and practice that strategy, that spaghetti breathing over and over. And then at the end of the 7 days, rate it. How did you find the discomfort of that squat when you're using that technique? 0 for no discomfort, 10 for super uncomfortable. And send me a DM on Instagram at Fitness Mama. I would love to hear how you went with your spaghetti squat, spaghetti breathing. I would love to know if that was a relaxation strategy that resonated with you. And if you've recently given birth and you tried that strategy out, let me know. Send me an Instagram message. I'd love to have a chat. So that's it, ladies. Short and sweet. Have a great day, and I look forward to you joining me next week for another episode of the Fitness Mama podcast. Thanks for listening to the Fitness Mama podcast, brought to you by the Fitness Mama freebies found at www.fitnessmama.com/free. So please take a few seconds to leave a review, subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and be sure to take a screenshot of this podcast, upload it to your social media, and tag me at Fitness Mama so I can give you a shout out too. Until next time, remember, an active pregnancy, confident childbirth, and strong postnatal recovery is something that you deserve. Remember our disclaimer: materials and contents in this podcast are intended as general information only and shouldn't substitute any medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. I'll see you soon.